Welcome back. Now let's talk some politics. The Anambra governorship election is coming up on November the 18th, which is less than a month away. And the electoral body has informed us that the candidates are putting finishing touches to their preparations to ensure that the elections are credible. And it is actually kudos to everyone who's taking part in this election that so far, touch wood, everything has been peaceful. Right. To look at that with us this morning, it's my pleasure to welcome the Senior Special Assistant Media to the Anambra State Governor, Mr. James Eze.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yes, and on this side, I have a member of the APC, Mr. Ike Chidolue. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good
And
morning, everybody.
we also have a legal practitioner who's neutral in this matter, Mr. Chike Maduekwe.
Thank you very much, and good morning, Nigeria.
And I'd also like to add that we did reach out to the PDP, who cancelled at the last moment. They were supposed to be joining us in this conversation as well.
They didn't cancel.
They couldn't make it to the studio.
They couldn't make it to the studio, so
Yes.
we're supposed to talk to them via phone. If we're able to get through to them, they'll be able to make their contributions. We reached out to other parties as well, but they couldn't make it or didn't get back to us. But PDP said so we tried them via phone since they can't make it to the studio. But we're here.
Yes, we are here indeed. Let me start with the neutral person, legal practitioner, Mr. Chike Maduekwe. What do you think about preparations for this elections? We understand that there are about 38 candidates. And like I said in the opening, so far, all has been peaceful.
Yes, to the glory of God, everything has been peaceful. And I think for the first time, Anambra also is blessed with quite a lot of qualified candidates to, aspiring to become governor. The preparations, I think, also INEC has is ready for the election. The candidates are campaigning. Anambra, we are not known for violence. And I think it's been more an election that will be contested on the basis of ideas.
Giving the Anambra people the choice of 38 to choose from, isn't that stretching their freedom of choice?
Well, I'll tell you, everybody is free to contest the election, but in actual fact, there are about four candidates contesting the election, and that will be APGA incumbent, APC, PDP, and UPP.
Okay.
Those are the people that be contesting the election.
The others are just making up the numbers.
I won't say so. I don't want anybody to get angry with me.
Okay, let me go to the APC representative. In your mind, is the state ready for this election? And by that, of course, I mean INEC.
I'm not going to speak for INEC, but...
from what you see on...
Yeah, so I'm going to speak from a perspective of their communication to us as a political party, to their communication to which I believe whatever they're saying to us, they're saying to every other person. And the fillers on the ground, things people, they said they're ready. They have the registration sheet, everything is ready. So we believe they're ready. They've given us a date. That this is going to happen, and they've so far so good. We believe they are ready, and the people are ready. The state, everybody in Anambra State is very excited about this, and we are looking forward to this election because it's going to be a very powerful statement for the residents of Anambra State, and on a political level for APC, this is a very strong statement. This is going to be the strongest and the most powerful and the most resounding statement for the party in Nigeria, and they started sounding the cymbal yesterday. Yesterday was like, here we go. And yesterday we laid the foundation of what is to be expected. And fortunately, I mean, because most of the other, the incumbent, they weren't expecting something like that. They didn't know that the message has seeped into the, crevice. Everybody in the state is very excited and waiting. So when we said come, everybody ran out in their hundreds of thousands. They saw it, they were overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed, and the same way is going to happen on the 18th. It's going to be in politics or in campaign, momentum is everything. If you don't have the momentum, then forget it. That's why I believe the attorney said 4 people are the people that are more serious, because in politics, momentum is everything. And the momentum right now is with these 4 people, and the ultra momentum was seen yesterday. The momentum is with APC. The momentum is with Tony Nwoye. And the momentum is actually being driven by the message he started communicating it yesterday. The major thing he's saying is education. The governor is talking about empowering people, but how do you empower people you never educated? So the major thing Tony is talking about is that Anambra, Tony Nwoye recognizes that the principal thing Anambra exports is human capital. We export human capital to the rest of the world at all levels, from intellectual to whatever, itinerant worker. So this is what Anambra exports to the people. Our human capital is the crude oil Anambra exports. And unfortunately, this past 3.5 years, that same export, the crude oil of the state, has been abandoned. And this, if it is not arrested, Anambra State is not going to take it. Okay. We are going to get our crude oil, and we're going to refine our crude oil, and we're going to talk about it, how Tony Nwoye plans to refine this crude oil, the human capital of the state.
Okay. I just admire your confidence. But let me go to the rep of the incumbent government. I would like your reaction to what Ike just said.
It's very pleasant to hear from the opposition for the first time, directly, because the buzz outside has been all kinds of, the kind of language that we wouldn't expect from people who want to provide leadership to a state that is as enlightened as Anambra State. And he knows, my friend Ike knows what I'm talking about. His principal began his campaign tragically on a note that you wouldn't expect from someone who aspires to lead Anambra State. But that's by the way. It's very, very telling that Ike talked about a resounding statement that APC made in Onitsha yesterday, but he left the actual statement. The statement that APC made in Onitsha yesterday, which anyone who's discerning enough or anyone who has access to social media can confirm as I speak this very moment, is a statement of violence. As I talk to you, 3 people were killed in Onitsha yesterday. And my principal and the government that I serve, feel very, very bad about it. That the peace that Anambra has known and enjoyed for the past 3.5 years, was broken yesterday when 3 people lay dead after the APC rally in Onitsha. You can confirm. Anyone can confirm. So at this moment in time, because I'm in touch with the people at home, and they tell me everyone is sitting on the edge. There's a strange a new feeling, in Anambra State that communicates to a foreboding future that APC is evidently bent on bringing to a people that are peace-loving and enterprising and fun-loving. It's like a shattering of an otherwise peaceful and serene environment.
Okay, so he talks about human capital.
Yeah, he talked about human capital, yes.
Mining the human capital resources of the state.
Yes, that is neither here nor there, because our track record in building human... And by the way, the first question one would have loved to ask Ike here is, you talked about Anambra exporting human capital, and I wonder if Tony Nwoye represents the best that Anambra can talk about or can boast of in terms of human capital development. We all know his history, but beside that point, the records are there. Within the period under review, our performance in NECO, for instance, has been steadily on the increase. In year 2015, for instance, we recorded about 6.5% increase in terms of students who who sat for NECO exams and who made 5 credits, including English and maths. This performance was improved upon the next year when it went a notch higher. It came to about 7.83% performance rate, in terms of the number of students who made 5 credits in one sitting, including English and maths. And this year again, it went up a notch higher. So the records are there. And then the government that I serve prides itself as the first administration in Anambra State to send teachers on tour, on training offshore in Singapore. 23 teachers went for the best training, and they had the best exposure, the first time in history. And this administration also increased teacher salaries and gives 20% of basic salary to teachers that teach in hard-to-reach places as a sort of incentive. The state government under Willie Obiano has also doled out scholarships. It's strange, but to hear that there are states that award scholarships in the country today, but the Anambra State under Willie Obiano has doled out scholarships in the sum of 30 million naira to over 200 students. I could go on and on and on. The records are there.
Yes, Mr. Eze, if you did go on and on, we'll be forced to give you an invoice.
It could be a little, it gives a little comic relief to actually hear, the opposition talk for the first time about human capital. And we know what they represent. They don't represent the development of the human mind. We know the destructive part that they bring to the bargain, and that's what everybody in Anambra State is sitting on an edge where I want to resist them and say, look, take your violence somewhere.
Mr. Eze, we would take a moment. When we come back, we'll hear from Ike and the legal practitioner. Let's know what the people are feeling while the parties are still having their conversations. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away.